It's 2022, and here I am once again, Calvin, also known as Romer, defending the Wii U. Now, I'm not here to tell you that the Wii U was an amazing console that you should love. If you don't like the Wii U, that's perfectly fine. But I've seen so many posts and tweets and videos over the past week or so, ever since the announcement by Nintendo that they're going to be shutting down the Wii U store and the 3DS store. The tweets and the posts have all said a few things that, to me, I disagree with completely. And they all center around this one phrase, or this one sentence. You didn't care about the Wii U or the 3DS until the stores were shutting down. And the one question I guess I gotta ask those people who are making these statements is, where were you the past 8 years? I guess to start things off, let's just get this out of the way. I'm not a Nintendo fanboy, I'm a video game fanboy. But video games are directly tied to consoles in many cases, especially with Nintendo, so it's hard not to have these amazing memories with a certain machine. Like many people, I just like following the games. Wherever the games are, that's where I really like to go. But it's impossible not to have love for one machine or a few machines, especially since that's where the memories of playing those games are tied to. Regardless of whether you're a fanboy of any system, even though for me personally, I just follow where the games are. Like if Persona 6 is a Xbox exclusive, I'm buying an Xbox. That's how it works. I still think that you can have love for a machine without being a fanboy for that machine to the point that you're killing other people over it. You as a person may not have been into the Wii U. You as a person may not have been into the 3DS, but don't project it. It's okay. You don't have to project those feelings. It's okay if you didn't like it, and I understand where that feeling comes from. There's people online who genuinely can't stand when other people enjoy stuff that they don't like. There's generally people online that get upset when people praise things that they felt like didn't deserve praise. Which will never really, it's never something that I truly will ever understand because I can't feel that way. If someone's praising something I don't like, it's well, that's how art works. That's how opinions work. So I don't really mind too much or would even care. I'll give an example. I didn't like the first Horizon game. When people were praising Horizon all the past few weeks, did I go on Twitter and go, oh man, this game sucked, I can't believe people liked it, it's objectively bad. No, that's not how art works. But to talk about my love for the Wii U and the 3DS is really what's important here for me. And you guys can share your love for those systems too. And I'm sorry if this gets a little bit ranty or it gets a little bit preachy, but these machines mean the absolute world to me. The Wii U, when I got that in 2014, I bought it one day, I think it was during a day in college. I had the money to buy it, and I don't know why I bought it. I just bought the white Wii U, which had like 8 gigabytes, which really had 3 gigabytes of storage on it. And I thought that was so funny when I got it. I was like, oh, it only has 3 gigabytes. But I didn't really play much of it. I played a few games on it here or there. But what really changed it for me was one of the big reasons why I love the Wii U, and that's the Virtual Console. You're gonna hear that so much over the next while, how the Virtual Console changed everything, and it really did. It changed my love for Nintendo. I didn't grow up with Nintendo. I didn't have a Nintendo system really as a kid. I had a Game Boy and a Wii were the two Nintendo systems I had as a kid, but I only had a few games from them. I had Pokemon Silver and The Legend of Zelda Link to the Past for the Game Boy, while on the Wii, I just kind of had the main kind of like third-party games that you would get for the system, such as like Cooking Mama or like Wii Sports. I know it's not third party, but you get what I'm saying. I would have those type of games or Mario Kart. I wouldn't really have it for like the main games like Skyward Sword or even like when Twilight Princess released on it too. I didn't have those games. I didn't really treat it as the main machine that I had. So when I first found out about the Virtual Console, I thought it was a really cool concept. The first game I ever bought on the Virtual Console was The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. It just launched on the Virtual Console and I decided to play it on the channel. And from that point onwards, I really felt like there was this real worth in older Nintendo games that I never got to play as a kid. I would get to relive through all these games with you guys, living through them for the first time, but reliving them with you, I suppose. And it felt amazing. Whether that being playing the Wind Waker on the Nintendo Switch for the first time, or playing Paper Mario 64 or Super Paper Mario, or playing Kirby Return to Dreamland, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword. I played my first playthrough of Breath of the Wild on the Wii U. Do you not understand how much this console means to me? Zelda, a game that is internally tied to the strings of my heart forever, is all because of the Wii U. Someone like me who was never really into Nintendo was able to get into Nintendo and not only get into new Nintendo, but trace it back and go, okay, so this is where it came from. This is where all these games came from. Getting to play so many amazing games that I truly love nowadays. Zelda, I can't imagine my life without Zelda. Therefore, I can't imagine my life without ever purchasing the Wii U. You could say you could have gotten a Switch, Calvin. Eventually loved Skyward Sword in that way. Eventually loved playing some of the Paper Mario games like Origami King. Would I really have jumped right into the Zelda series if I hadn't tested the waters with a few Zelda games like Majora's Mask or Ocarina of Time or Wind Waker? Would I really jumped in head first into those games if I didn't play those games first, just little by little? No. Not at all. Not only has it gotten me into Mario, Kirby, or Zelda, it's got me into so many different games, and still I praise that machine to this day, and I think it is one of the best history-driven machines that you can find. For someone who has never played Nintendo games as a kid, this was a gold mine. This was literally like going into the library and taking out a history book on the history of your own country. This was literally like taking out a full encyclopedia on things that you didn't know as a kid. And it was eye-opening. And I know it sounds very preachy, but it was eye-opening. And that machine is the reason why I got into Zelda. I'm sorry, I will literally fight for that machine. I will literally fight for the Wii U. I will literally die for that machine. Well, maybe not die for the machine, but you get what I'm saying. It means the world to me. And whilst I love the Wii U so much because of a lot of sentimental reasons and it got me into a lot of amazing games, the 3DS, I can't believe there's people on this planet that say the 3DS is a machine that people didn't love until this point. The 3DS has one of the greatest video game libraries of all time. Whether that be Xenoblade games, Monster Hunter games, Pokemon games, Fire Emblem games are on the system too, Persona games, Shin Megami Tensei games. This freaking system had so many games on it and still does have so many games on it that are worth playing, that are incredible. That are absolutely incredible. I would put the 3DS in the top 3 libraries of games of all time. I'd put it up there with the PS2. Easily. It would go hand in hand with the PS2 with all the games it has on that machine. And some people might say, well, Calvin, if I'm not into JRPGs, what do I do? That's fine, it's not a genre you're into. But they also had horror games, they had action games, they had Zelda games on this system too, whether that be the Ocarina of Time remake or Majora's Mask. They really did do a lot for this system. In fact, I would say that the 3DS was their main moneymaker for a lot of years. This system sold so well, and you're tracing it back as well to you can play DS games on this system too. It is a fantastic system. And like, while you can argue that the Wii U was kind of neglected, and it was neglected in a lot of ways, and you can argue that the Wii U, you love it for sentimental reasons, Calvin, not for good reasons. You can argue that with me all the time, and I'll listen to your argument. It's really difficult to listen to people when they say that the 3DS was not important. So sorry if this video got a little bit ranty. Over the next while, I'm going to be making a few videos about the Wii U, mostly talking about my memories of the Wii U or talking about games I'm going to be buying over the next while. Whenever I buy some games, I might make a video on why I bought them and which games I bought before the store closes down. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for listening to my silly rant. And I will see you all very, very soon. By the way, I have a new camera. I'm trying it out. I don't know if it's going to work. It might actually change things. My hair is also a mess. All this stuff. Share your love for the Wii U or your hate. If you don't like it, let me know as well. And I'll see you all very soon. By the way, I love the Switch. I love the Nintendo Switch. Please don't think this is me saying like, the Switch ruined my life. I love those systems too.